Broad Street Review podcast is an extension of Broad Street Review, Philly's home for arts, culture, and conversation, an online arts and culture journal covering the greater Philadelphia area. I'm your host, Darnell Radford.
Today on the podcast, Broad Street Review continues its media sponsorship with the Philadelphia Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts and their annual celebration, The Arts Affair, on June 8th. Please enjoy our chat with board members and contributors of PVLA for The Arts Affair. And welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Darnell Radford, and today I'm in the virtual studio, and we are talking to members, participants, contributors, collaborators, lovers of the Philadelphia Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. Broad Street Review is thrilled to be returning as a media sponsor this year. And so we had a wonderful conversation last season. And so we're going to have another one this season. And so we are here. The Arts Affair is on June 5th from 6 to 8 at Hamilton Hall at the University of the Arts. And tickets are on sale now, and we'll have the link in the show notes for you to get those tickets or for you to sponsor an artist so that they can enjoy this event as well. And so I have two of my three proposed guests today. So we will do introductions. We'll start with Shakina.
Hi, my name is Shakina B. I'm a creative, and I'm also the executive director of the Women's Coalition for Empowerment and a current sitting board member of PVLA. And I'm excited to be here with you today.
That's the kind of excitement we bring. Wonderful. And Gabrielle?
I'm not sure if I can top that enthusiasm, but I am also very excited to be here and also very happy and grateful to the Broad Street Review for sponsoring this event and partnering with us again. It's so appreciated. We obviously have a lot of overlap in our constituents and communities, so thank you, BSR. I am Gabrielle. I am a lawyer here in the Philadelphia area. I work with a lot of creative people and a lot of the small businesses and not so small businesses that support them. And I am also, as you mentioned, on the board of PVLA and also a volunteer lawyer for PVLA. So I also work with PVLA clients who need our help.
Great. Well, welcome to you both. And Shakina, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like it's home.
Yeah. Shakina brought the energy last year, and it has not died down at all.
We're turning up even more in 2024.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm not only a podcast host for many podcasts, I'm also the director of operations at Theater Exile. And so I already see a common thread in the PVLA and Theater Exile, particularly with your host for this year. So your host is Miss Cookie Diorio, and Cookie Diorio is also a host for us and for our annual fundraiser, Exile a Go-Go. So that is exciting.
Awesome. Shout out to Cookie.
Yes,
Yeah.
we love Cookie. I'm so glad that Theater Exile has a great relationship with Cookie. We've had so much fun. We themed an event around Cookie, and we called it Camp Cookie. And it's a variety show, speakeasy, cabaret thing, and it was a whole lot of fun. We did 2 of them this year, and we're looking forward to doing more next year.
Love that.
Yeah. So you're both board members of PVLA. Tell us how PVLA fared this year.
All right, Gabrielle, I'll let you take it away. Council?
I'm really proud of the fact that PVLA has been through a lot of change in the past 3 or 4 years. Some of this is a little bit of like ancient history already, but in the summer of 2019, I got a phone call saying, Gabrielle, PVLA is moving away from being a program of the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. We're going back out on our own as an independent nonprofit. We need to get the band back together, so to speak, and we're reforming the board. I had been on the board many years ago, and of course, I was delighted to rejoin. So we kind of went through a whole reorganization, and then right when that was kind of settling down, COVID hit. So it's just been like one thing after another. And the thing I'm really proud about, not just this year, but every year since 2019, is that we have continued to serve artists. We have continued through all of these sort of like internal things that we've been going through. We have continued to provide pro bono, free legal services to artists in need and to arts organizations, small arts organizations throughout the Philadelphia area. So that is our main focus and our mission. And we really believe that what we do helps level the playing field. Artists on the one hand and small arts organizations on that same hand, and then the big, often corporations or big arts organizations that are buying that talent or that are paying for that talent. So we're here in the middle, just trying to give artists a little bit of a leg up, and we've been able to continue that. Which is fantastic. And of course, we had a very successful event last year. We're going to have an even more successful event this year on June 5th. That is our big fundraiser. We're very small staffed, so we don't do, big campaigns. You have not been getting your email and your whatever, we haven't been hitting you up for donations every month and whatever. We send out newsletters. We talk about what we do. But this is really our one and done opportunity to pull our budget together for the coming year. So we really do depend on the community's support and showing up. And as we were talking about before we started here, we really do try to show everyone a really good time. So we're really looking forward to that. And we are also another initiative that is just getting off the ground right now that we will be seeing the fruits of in the coming year is getting back to some more educational activities and programming, both for lawyers. Not only do lawyers have an obligation to do continuing education and to earn a certain number of credits every year in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, but we also, I feel strongly that one thing that PVLA can do is to sort of seed the legal community with the kind of information we want lawyers to have so that they in turn can better serve our clients. So the kinds of things that our clients are interested in are the kinds of things we want to teach lawyers so that they can then bring that knowledge back to our artists and creative clients. And I, as a board member, am also really interested in providing some legal knowledge to our artists that we serve because it is so helpful to get in front of problems and not simply, wait for the problems to happen and then seek legal counsel. So those are kind of our highlights and our goals.
That is great. I feel like artists put all of their effort into being great artists, focusing on their craft. And there's so many other elements of it that were not part of the choice to be an artist. It's like, oh, I'm a business. Well, I thought I was just an artist.
And I speak a lot at art schools. And I'm really thrilled to see that art schools are having people like me come in. And there's a lot more in the curriculum now than, a generation ago for like young art students to learn about some of these things. But the fact is, you're absolutely right. When you come out of school, or even if you don't go to school, if you're an artist, you're like your own marketing person and your own lawyer and your own bookkeeper and your own everything. And those are, each of those things, as we know, those are like careers. I mean, those are big skill sets that one person can't possibly have all of those, never mind also, work on your craft and do your art. So it's great that there are organizations out here who serve the artist community.
Absolutely. And Shakina, how does the organization look from your seat on the board?
One, I'm so glad to be an artist being on the board, mostly made of attorneys, but just great to have the artist perspective, because I'm certainly one to be an artist as a hybrid. So I am big on the entrepreneurship component as well as the continual development of creativity. And because I'm also the author of the Art Economic Empowerment Workbook, where I give artists free educational content on how to start their businesses, how to procure funding, how to go to the Pennsylvania Department of State, securing their EIN, and going through that very basic administrative process to navigate in order to become successful entrepreneurs within their pursuit of the career itself. And we have this ongoing training that's free and accessible to any Pennsylvania resident. And we want to expand on that. Now, from a legal perspective, I agree. A lot of artists do not necessarily take serious the business.
Mhm.
Oh, they get the music, but not the business, or the art, not the business. And that's why there's like this gap between art and commerce. And we're trying to merge the two to have a great partnership between the two so that there is the dispelling of the struggling artist narrative. And being a creative that has faced legal issues where in the past PVLA has absolutely represented me successfully, and to ensure that I was protected and I was able to get the funds that were owed to me. I certainly felt like this was an organization I needed to be a part of, and I wanted to amplify in the best way I can. So, of course, I'm going to do that in song at the Arts Affair with my full band.
Yay!
I'm excited. And last year, when the Hellfires of Canada was lighting up the sky and the air quality, and we came in off of the streets of Philadelphia smelling like bacon, Canadian bacon. And when we got in, it was a multifaceted 5 sense immersive experience at the Arts Affair. So if you're thinking about just, it's just an annual fundraiser, no, think about it as an overwhelmingly interactive experience, but for a good cause that is going to positively impact the creative economy in the city of Philadelphia. Because supporting this organization helps to increase operations that generates more outreach for other attorneys to then represent artists. So I always tell artists, don't look at it as, oh, it's just another ticketed event. I look at it as you need to start meeting attorneys so that you can gain representation and have more of support system as you are pursuing this entrepreneurial reality of yours.
Yeah.
And I feel like having, people like Gabrielle and Ken and all the board members and all the LSCs and all of the volunteer attorneys, I feel like I have a whole gang behind me they got my back, and they'll whoop your ass legally if you mess with me. So that I feel great about that. I'm sorry if I used language that we probably shouldn't have used, but I feel very passionate about that.
Yes, it's passion.
You said legally, so it's okay.
Yes, legally on that.
And I also just want to add, like, our event on June 5th, it's not, you're right, Shakina, it's not just a fundraiser. It's really a celebration of Philadelphia's arts community and also the professionals who support you guys. And it's just really such a lovely way to sort of like bring everybody together. We all do our work in our own little separate, little cubes. And every once in a while we get to all get together and celebrate this community. And it's just really a lovely and really fun event. And we haven't even talked about all the artists and performers that are going to be there, I don't think. And it's it's great. Other than Cookie, there's a lot of other talent.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about them. I'm getting messages from Chuck. So Chuck may join us. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll see. So if he joins us, great. But yeah, let's talk about the artist lineup this year.
Oh, wow. We got a full roster from all walks of disciplines artistically. You want me to go? Or
Sure.
You caught me slipping. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up my little list because it's a pretty nice list. And I want to add that this is a timely event and experience because June is not only Pride Month, it's also Black Music Appreciation Month. It's also the month that later in the month will begin the kickoff of the summer.
Mhm.
So we're like kind of ending the spring into the summer. And you see, I'm trying to bide my time as I pull up my little list.
Great. And we are joined by Charles Schultz.
Hey, Charles.
Welcome to
Hello.
the chat. Welcome to the chat already in progress. I hope it's not bombarding. We were just at the moment where we're about to meet the artist, and we've gushed all about Cookie DiOrio, and you are next on the list.
Oh,
So,
cool.
do you prefer Charles or Chuck?
Chuck works great.
Okay. Well, hello, Chuck. Welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been drawing theater and dance for since 2016. I went to Edinburgh and back, and I really enjoyed it. Philadelphia is a
That's
great place for it too.
Yeah, that's great. I've been to Edinburgh a couple of times. It's there's so much going on there. It's like hard to leave. It's hard to leave every time. Honestly, any room full of artists is hard to leave. If you are the last one out, you did the right thing.
Okay.
Okay. So that's two of our artists.
Okay. So we have. Hey man, I'm pulling up my list, but can we also acknowledge some of our sponsors too?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes. We'll do that as well.
Okay. So I know we have Cookie from the Bearded Ladies. We have Chuck Schultz. We have Shakina B and the band. We have Band Productions, just offering light and sound. We have Queen Tiff, visual artist. We have it's a nice long list. Wait a minute. It's a nice long list.
We have T Sleeveless.
Yes.
We have
DJ
Mixmaster Next, which I can never say.
Say it 3 times fast.
Well, thank you. We have Debbie Schaefer, the art girl. And we also have the Dream Poet for Hire. I think he's been at every one of our events, and he will just like write you a poem on the spot. It is the coolest thing.
That is so great.
Spontaneous poetry. So it's going to be just fabulous. Shakina, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be performing with your full band?
Yes, I will be performing live. I will do a little bit of vocal, a little bit of magic work, where I will disappear in the Shakina administrator, and the Shakina performer reveals herself.
Nice.
And we're gonna do music from various genres for my set. I'm excited because I don't think the board's ever really seen me perform before. So now you get to see me wear a different hat. That's a whole other personality in and of itself. Woo! Scary, but fun.
That's great. And
yeah, American Queen. My apologies, American Queen. TJD. They will be providing their abstract art. TIFF.
Great. and Chuck, what is your offering for the arts affair?
Oh, I'm gonna be illustrating the whole event, guests and artists, as best I can from a wide angle. I love the Hamilton venue. You really get a bird's eye view. I can see in the crowd. I can see on stage. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, it really is. It's and to see the hall full of people. Every event I've been to at Hamilton Hall, it's just been awesome. Especially when you get to go to one of the upper levels and just kind of look down on it, and you're like, "Wow, this place is happening. I must be in the right place."
Yeah,
Chuck, do I understand, Chuck, that you're going to be illustrating the event, and then your pieces will be given away or auctioned off at the end of the evening?
Yeah, me and Tiff. It's Tiff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Tiff are going to be auctioning off our pieces, and I think we really complement each other. We're pretty wild, and yeah, I think whoever gets it is going to be lucky.
Yeah, I'm trying to bid on a couple of pieces already that I've seen from both of your works, and I'm hoping. If you outbid me, that's fine. But I'm a very aggressive auction person, so even though I may be on stage, I may jump off stage to ensure that I get the pieces that I want, because I still have some access, some wall space where I can include some additional art. I love local art. I love supporting the local economy of creatives, and this is a great opportunity that the auctions are accessible, but very much an opportunity to really highlight the quality work of what represents Philadelphia, the tapestry of its, incredible landscape of creativity.
Yeah, that's great.
Long sense of value.
I always say, if I know an artist who has, work for offer, I'm always make an opportunity to either shine a light on it or to purchase it. So just tell me you have something. Okay. Because don't you want to own art from somebody you know, there's someone you met, and then the circumstance and everything that revolves around you acquiring this art or experiencing this art becomes the moment, becomes the thing that makes it way more valuable than it may have been before it got in your hands. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So I had some general questions about the community, and just wanted to get your opinion on it. What has been the most pressing requests from the community to the PVLA? Your opinion. What is everyone buzzing about, or what? When you think about it, you're like, well, there's a lot of need for this. What is that?
Say legal representations.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there.
I haven't noticed any sort of like bigger trends other than just the fact that it's a tough economy and legal services are very expensive, and there's a big gap between the talent that our artists have and what they can afford in terms of legal services. But I haven't really noticed, Darnell, to answer your question, any like specific trends in concerns. Things like AI get talked about a lot, but it's not something that really comes out sort of in the day-to-day practice, at least that I'm seeing. I'm just trying to think of the last few PVLA clients and the matters that I'm working on now. And they are, I don't want to say run of the mill, but they're the kinds of problems that come up all the time. Like, how do you acquire the rights to something you want to use in your work? How do you, what do you do if you didn't properly get the rights to something that you did use in your work? And then the more like really sort of like everyday things, like I need to rent some studio space, and what needs to be in this lease, and things like that. But like I said, I just haven't seen any sort of like overarching trends.
Okay.
I would say there is a theme that I've kind of noticed, which would be contractual understandings and enforcement. So just demystifying the legalese of language in terms that artists understand. When we receive contracts, we often may not fully grasp the magnitude of some of the lingo. So, and we feel oftentimes almost bullied into signing things just so that we could try, because we skip all the meat of the contract and just want to make sure that the dollar amounts line up to what we verbally had agreed to. So when we just sign, Gabrielle, you're like,
no, I was thinking that's not you, Shakina. That's every client.
It is everybody.
There's the theme. We got a theme.
How much am I getting? And
because I'm like, all right, we talked about the day. Sell my soul, to give my blood to Day Dog. There's a dollar amount that we agreed to. Got it. And I'll sign that, and then I'm just like, oh my God, wait, my soul just left my body. Wait, it belongs to the devil now. And I'm just like, what did I sign? Somebody help me.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
And they're like, what are all these deductions? I used to get, contractor flat rates, and now
in perpetuity. You own my likeness in perpetuity. And Chuck, have you ever experienced that?
Not really.
His contract won't allow him to speak on it. I'm sorry.
He's like, I'm not allowed to talk about my contract.
Right.
But I think I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Shakina brought up a really important point is that sometimes people feel like embarrassed or feel shame about having signed something that they regret or that they didn't understand. Or sometimes they sign things because they're embarrassed that they don't understand them and they feel like everybody else does. And I think that's a really important role that a lawyer plays, and in particular, a PVLA lawyer can play, because it's not artists, it's everybody. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of legal language is very specialized and full of jargon, and nobody who isn't a lawyer can understand it very readily. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to translate that into plain English and explain what it means to clients. And I really do want to sort of demystify the idea that that artists are like particularly unsophisticated or unbusinesslike, because they are no more so than any other kind of business person or client. And I'm saying that because my practice has all kinds in it, and I've had people that you would expect to be very sophisticated, signing things or not understanding things. And I've had some lawyers who are tremendously sharp business people.
Yeah. Do you think it also may be a little bit of a fear of missing the opportunity? Because sometimes there's a lot there, sometimes the work is scarce and it's just like, we need to know now or blah, 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 or, and it's like, oh my God, it looks good. It's fine. I mean, they have all these pages. I'll just sign it.
No, you're so right. There's this total tension, right, in the artist world of like wanting to get your work out on the one hand and wanting to protect your work on the other. You want to exploit it and you want to protect it. And it's just a constant balancing act. And so early in your career, like emerging artists do tend to give away a lot in order to get the work out there. And then, as their careers progress, that the balance changes a bit, hopefully. And it is just a constant thing. And that's one of the things I love most about the work I do and where my creativity comes into my practice is helping to structure things that make sense. Like if a book publisher wants to buy your manuscript that you've written, do you really need to give them the film rights? Do you really need to give them the theatrical rights? Or can you just give them the book print publishing rights or the, book publishing rights? And so helping to shape and structure those arrangements is really important to do that. To slice off as little as you can get away with slicing off and retaining the rights that you can for the artist, for the client, so they can transact them somewhere else or with a different party for a different medium. But you're absolutely right, Darnell. Like that's such a big issue, is that tension between wanting to get your work out and also wanting to shepherd it carefully.
Yeah. I'd love to get to a point where we feel less grateful for the opportunity and just more sure of the opportunity.
Honestly, I think that it's almost getting to that point. And I don't know if you've been following the FTC's change about the not banning the no compete clauses. And I'm like, that's a huge win for a lot of entrepreneurs where you feel stagnant from doing other things outside of what your contractual agreements. And now it's like it's unlawful and not in good practice to incorporate certain terminology. And I'm sharing this with artists and they're like, what's non-compete mean? And I'm just like, well, here's some really basic language to share so that we're clear about when we're signing contracts. What does that look like? What does it mean? And what are the long-term implications of you signing away? Because I recall being a part of a contract where being part of an arrangement where now you have my likeness in perpetuity. Now you're making money off of it. I may have gotten a fee, but now you have my likeness in perpetuity for use. And I can't even I have to license out my own likeness when I gave it freely without knowing. So this is something to think about. I'm like, wait a minute, I probably should have thought about that. And everything is negotiable. You don't have to accept. And it's not always about negotiations on the dollar amount. but sometimes just bartering for the conditions of the arrangement.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, wait a minute, you're not going to have me in perpetuity. You can license my likeness for a set time, and then you can buy it back from me for usage, but I need to get a percentage, whatever we agree to that's mutually beneficial, hopefully something reasonable. And when you're talking in that language, then they go on to the next artist sometimes and they just say, they know too much. Get away from them. Go to the next person.
I mean, there's two sides of the agreement. Yeah.
But if you value what you're bringing to the table and if you want to bring a contract, then you have leveraging. It's like, I'm going to leverage you.
Yeah.
I know you want this thing.
Yes, and that's what I mean about being sure of it. I and that's why I said that, because I do feel like I do talk to a lot of artists, my partner included, and they've just been so grateful for the work that they've received. I'm like, but aren't you qualified for that work? Like, you should walk into the room saying, like, I'm only in here because I'm qualified to do what we're here to talk about. And so now let's talk about the particulars. I'm going to ask you questions about how your operation works, and I'm going to see if this is a fit for me as well. I don't think we always walk in looking at it like that. I'm just like, I just want to be in the room, and they have all the leverage.
Yeah. I always try to enlighten people about the creative sector, and that in accordance with research, and as of 2022, $1.10 trillion industry.
Yeah.
So there is plenty of funds going around somewhere. It just so happens the trickle down effect in the United States of this America, the level of severity and respect for the craft of creativity is not necessarily taken in the same way for the creatives.
Yeah.
But we don't, in America, for some reason, it's just kind of like other and elective, when actually it's a science that has contributed to society and civilization and history and legacy and wealth and education and life.
Yeah.
But we look at it as, it's entertainment. It's something that's supposed to make you feel good for the moment, but not the fact that it is something that literally makes the world go round.
Yeah. And if we make it hard for artists to gain the resources they need to be better artists, now they're sort of forcing a narrative to make sense. If they're saying like, oh no, this is like, they're not even putting their all into it, or whatever sort of argument they want to have, it's like, it's because the support isn't there. Like, don't you realize if you supported it, it would shine, it would grow. It's just like a plant. If you water it, it will grow. And so,
some sunshine and water and good soil, please.
Yeah, it's like, just because we said we put it together with shoestrings and gum doesn't mean we didn't need resources for that shoestrings and gum.
I think there's almost an inherent imposter syndrome when a great opportunity, and I know probably how your partner may have felt. I remember the first time I had a really nice sizable contract and I almost felt undeserving or unworthy. I certainly signed the contract. The nice funds that came with it. However, at the time, I almost felt like, am I worthy of this opportunity? Because there were so few that came across of that magnitude, and there's a lot of intermittent work. Chuck, I mean, I'm sure you can understand being a creative where, for me, performances throughout we're the Northeast, so the festivals, the outdoor events, a lot of the events are happening on the warmer side of the season. And then after New Year's Eve, you're like crickets for a while. So you're just like, hopefully you planned financially to support that narrative while you're in waiting. But to have multiple streams of income, I always tell artists that too. Yeah. You gotta have that, or you will die and starve.
Yeah, I don't know much about making money in this field, but I am very, experienced in being in the room and being thankful that I'm in the room. Being able to document, this science you're talking about in arts. I've learned a lot about different cultures and different art forms. And things that can't be just communicated, but with the movement and I feel very lucky to have that knowledge. And yeah, I think that going forward, like having a contract ready, you know, if I have that experience, it would be great. But for right now, I'm just you know, thankful to be in the room.
Focusing on the intrinsic value.
I love that.
Yeah. It's
I'm going to focus on that checking account.
well,
and I will thank you when the check clears. That's when I will thank you.
It's like a three-sided, or like a three-sided scale. You know, it's about balancing all of those things. Like, you want to make sure the contracts, the agreements are right. You want to make sure you're getting value out of it. And then you also want to make sure you're growing as a human being, as an artist, and so on. So, you know, for all the choices that you make too. And I know sometimes it's tempting to take something that isn't really, that doesn't align with your artistic vision, your integrity. And, you know, if they're far and few between, it's hard to figure out if you should hold off and keep waiting, or just take the opportunity as it comes, and then use your creativity to turn it into what you want it to be. Like, there's a lot of ways to approach it. I think the more creative you are about it in general, you can find ways. I always ask when I get artists together, like, what do you think our arts community needs the most?
A lawyer. I'm sorry, I said that out loud.
I know it's a little bit loaded and kind of like, you know, obvious.
Gabrielle, let me ask my attorney. Go ahead.
And an LLC, you know. No, actually, we talked about this last year. So, you know, the models are different for everyone.
It depends on your specified reality, because the LLC model might work for some people. Some people might want to get an incorporation. Some people might want to create a nonprofit. Some people might actually want to go foundation. Some people might want to go 508A, or, you know, it just depends on what you're doing. I've learned there's ways to do all of them well, but I think doing research and recognizing your specified need and not comparing it to someone else. So sometimes we look over at another artist and think that that's applicable to our reality. And it's just like, wait, because my mortgage is this, my bills are this, my specific needs are this. And for me having, you know, a condition, you know, I have a disability, I have to also factor that into my process. Like, okay, I need to make sure I have the, you know, readily available medical needs, and make sure that when I'm doing art that it aligns with my wellness, so that I can maintain and continue, so that I'm not compromising my health. Because compromising my health, then you know, art like that down.
Absolutely. Let's see. So, you know, back to the event. The thing I love about this event, besides, you know, everything that happens at the event, is the access to the event. The ticket structure is like, I feel like everyone should steal this model. It's such a great idea to offer many ways for people to enter this space. You know, the individual ticket is $125. You can get a pair and save money. It's a $200 ticket, but there's an artist, student, nonprofit, public interest folks rate of $45. And so that is very accessible for a high-end arts event that is not to be missed. You know, I'm just a podcaster, not like promoting the event, but I had such a great time. And there's also sponsor opportunities where if you want to make sure that more artists are in this room, you can sponsor 1, 2, or 4 tickets, and then those tickets are set and made available to artists who may not have the means to join with an artist ticket. And so I think that's so great, because being in the room with all these legal minds and celebrating the art, because these lawyers are also supporting the artists it's just a great union, and we don't always see that. We always see, like, whenever there's a gathering, it's like people. It's like if it's a theater event, it's going to be the theater, their artists, their donors, and it's not really as welcoming to people outside of that as they might think. They want everyone to come into the space, but really, it's like, you're going to pay how much for a ticket for an event for a company you don't have a personal relationship with? It's hard to really see that. But this, it flat out says, we are here for the artists. We are bringing our knowledge, our expertise to make sure that artists thrive. And so how is that not a room you want to be in?
Yeah, I love that. And I really appreciate that you pointed out that you do have the ability, and I've had a number of people, I sent my blast email out to all my people saying, here we are again, come do our thing. And every year this happens, a few people come back to me and say, I won't be around, I'll be out of town, but I'm definitely going to sponsor some artist tickets. And it's such a lovely way to make a donation to PVLA, because it's not just helping us raise the money that we need to operate for the year, but it is also ensuring that, like you said, Darnell, that people who couldn't otherwise be there are going to be in the room with us. And that is just such a win all around.
Yeah. Okay. So before we wrap up, is there anything else anyone would like to say about the event, about your craft, about artists in general?
You want to go first, Jack?
Sure, yeah. Thanks for the introduction. The last year was great. I mean, the people definitely diverse, and people they looked great. Everybody looked great. They dressed their best, and like the space again is wonderful. We had a poet, some break dancers, and some soul music from Mustafa. I'm looking at a list right here, and of course the cabaret at the beginning, top of the night. So it's really, I'm looking forward to what I'm gonna learn too. Every time I step into this role, I get nervous. I get really nervous because I don't know how fast they're gonna move, and if I'm gonna catch that or not catch it. And then I just you just keep rolling with the flow of things, and it's gonna be a great event.
Great, thank you.
Well, I'm excited to be performing. It's going to be a great, diverse crowd. I'm encouraging artists to come out. It's an opportunity to network, to meet with other, artists and art enthusiasts that you could potentially do business with and learn something from. And also, it's a great way to support an organization that supports the creative economy here. Great food, good drinks, live entertainment, amazing, incredible, accessible art. Dress your best. I mean, if you got a plethora of, it's just pretty much a whole show. It's the Met Gala. It's the Met Gala. There it is. We even have our steps and all. Yes.
Assignment received. Gabriella, you want to?
Yeah, I want to add two other little things about the event itself. One is that as a sponsor of the event, you get a number of free tickets. And every year I use that to invite some of my clients who are in the art space to come and be my guest, which is just a fantastic thing. If you sponsor the event, you will get the opportunity to invite people and just add them to your door list, which I really love to do. And it's a nice little perk to throw at some of my clients who love to be there. And it's like kind of like a fun little way of like almost like I'm throwing a party and getting to invite some of my people to it. So that's really lovely. The other thing I wanted to say that we did not get mentioned is we are also we use this event to award our volunteer lawyer of the year, our law firm of the year, and sometimes, and including this year, we had an exceptional service award winner. So that's just another way to celebrate the community that supports the arts. And the last thing I will say is it's a complete honor and privilege to serve the Philadelphia arts community and to do it through serving on the board and as a volunteer of Philadelphia Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. And thanks again to Broad Street Review for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Well, Well, and thank you all for the roles that you're in and the art you help shine a light on. Our world would not be the same without it and all of this creativity. I just wish there was so much more support for the great work that is being done here. I think Philadelphia is we truly are a world-class city. There's so much to offer here. And I think that's why it's so hard to leave, no matter what your struggles are. You think about it for a minute and then you're like, what am I talking about? Crazy. We got gritty. We got all kinds of things here. There's so much, it'd be hard to leave. But I think without the arts community, I think I would have found another space to call home. But I am already home. It's like I think so Lin-Manuel Miranda says in The Heights, I found my island. I've been on it this whole time. It's so beautiful. And every time I hear that, I just start welling up and just like, oh my God. It's beautiful. But it's a good statement to live by. But the Philadelphia Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts annual The Arts Affair, it's June 5th. At Hamilton Hall at the University of the Arts. It's from 6 to 8 and, Met Gala level standards applied. Shakina raised the bar.
And all that for food, by the way.
Shakina raised the bar last year, so I got to step up my wardrobe as well. I'm looking forward to the event, and I'm so glad that we are able to continue this relationship with PVLA. If you want to learn more about PVLA, you can visit pvla.org. And you can go to pvla.org/events to find out more about the Arts Affair. And we also have those links in the show notes. And I also put a link for the FTC non-compete ban, so you can learn about that as well. Shakina, Gabrielle, Chuck, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. And I look forward to seeing you all on June 5th at the Arts Affair. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Same here.
Thank you.
Thank you to our guests, Shakina B., Gabrielle Saleh, and Charles Chuck Schultz, for joining us on today's podcast. The Broad Street Review podcast is an Emory production. If you would like to be a guest on the podcast, visit us online at em3ry.com. Get involved with Broad Street Review. Head on over to our website at broadstreetreview.com and click Get Involved at the top. While you're there, help keep us running and click Donate to find out how. There you can also find our social media links. Thank you for your part in keeping the conversation going.